Seriously? Unbelievable. Freaking ads. right, howdy folks, welcome back. I told you I'd be back. All right, let's get on over here to our solar report. All right, I'm gonna leave that sitting there for a second and let's see if you guys can see it. Yeah, it's probably pretty good. Whoops, let's get it right about there. What else? We need to lift that up a little more. Oh, there we go. Let's try a little of this, shall we? And I know it might help as well. If we can go. No, that's a little too much. All right, well, we're just going to leave it right there and let that sit there for a second and see if you guys can spot what's going on in here. Maybe we'll leave it. Give it a little more brightness here. It's look like it's capturing it a little bit. All right, can you make out this bigger round object right here? And the plasma is streaming over it, and these little wakes are coming off right here and right here. And in this wake is the little moon, and you see all the plasma dammed up in front of it right there. Okay, so maybe we tint it out just to tap it this way. Oh, wait, right about there. Now you can see this round object back here, the plasma streaking over it right there, and then the little moon caught right there with the plasma, this little wing or this little wake that was going to come off on this side right here to equal this one right here. Well, this little moon was caught in it. If you tilt your head to the right, maybe 45 degrees, you can see it a lot better. And I'll try to, right about there is good. Anyways, you can see how this plasma is trailing off the back side of the sphere. See this little arch right here is the front side of this sphere right here. Okay, and then we'll go back and kind of go in closer on it. When we put this into motion, you can't really see it too well in motion here. It's that frame right there that really kind of captures it the best. All right, so, and that's today, December 28th, 2023. All right, so hopefully you guys can see that. And then there appears to be something else going on back here. But let's go ahead and zoom back out of this for the moment and start this loop going here. All right, there we go. We can pull it down a little bit. Right about there is good. All right, so I'll give you a second to look at that loop, and it's really hard to see in there because the motion kind of, it's twisting and it's a weird event. Something was odd about this one, so I had to go through it very carefully and look at it to see what was really going on in there. And all right, so what I'm going to try to do here is get this the best I can. Let's back up a few. All right, opening frame right here. This is the tail end of our event right here. There we go. Try and get it as best I can there for you guys. All right, so pull it down just a bit more. All right, next frame right there, 024. So this is the tail end of an event right here, leaving as we start to go through this day here. And this little event coming out down here. It's a little odd, whatever that thing is. Almost looks like an Oumuamua type object or whatever. And we have our event right here. Now watch over on the red side as well here. Okay, here comes our bigger object. It's coming out right here. Here's the plasma that's trailing off the top of it, and then there's another little wing coming off this side. Now, as we continue here, you see it. If you tilt your head to the right, you can see the back side of this object right here with plasma streaming off here and here, as if it were water kind of running over a rock in a river. You can also see it over here. Here's the plasma. Let's just call them plasma wings for the moment, all right? For lack of a better term, they're wakes. They make a wing type structure. So I'm going to just call them plasma wings for the moment. But you can see these little plasma wings coming off on each side, trailing off of this bigger, rounder spheroid. Okay, then over here you can see it forming as well. There's one right there and there's one over there. Then as we continue, you can even see another moon right here. So here's our bigger object right here. You can see all the plasma trailing away from it right there. Let me try to get these wavy lines out there a little bit. All right, so tilt your head to the right, and you can see our round, bigger object right here with the plasma flowing, over the, trailing away from it. It's the wake or the tail or whatever. All right. You can also make out there was that little moon here. Then there's also apparently one right here. You see it move? Did you see that moon jump right there? From that position to right there. Oh, we gotta get that one better. Watch this jump of the moon. Boom. Oh, boom. And there goes that event with another CME in the wake of it with something else trailing. Okay, that was the last frame right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this back into motion. Now maybe if you tilt your head to the right a little bit, now that you know what to look for, you can see it unfold a little bit better, and then those two little moons go zipping by. Wow. All I can say is wow. God's putting on quite a display on the sun, isn't he? All right. So let me kind of straighten this back out. Get the wavy lines out of there a little bit. Let that loop play for a second there. All right. There was that. Now let's come on over to the Solar Ham report tonight. Can you guys still hear me okay? Is this microphone working? I don't have a microphone. I'm just trying to talk towards the phone. All right, let me zoom in on this real quick. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Look how quiet it's been. Abnormally quiet A little hiccup here, a little mouse fart there, a few little bumps right around here. That's what we just watched right there. But from the activity we just looked at on the satellite, this is not very reflective of what we saw. Now, is it? So we can't just go by this instrument alone to as to what's going on the sun. Okay, because if you looked at this, you would think today the sun had a heart attack and died, but it didn't. It spit out. We had that encounter with that huge object and its moons. Let me back out of this. Okay, so X flare potential 1%. Here, let's get this back into 10% flare, M flare. So the all these predictions here are really low because of this low activity. But then you just saw a big object with a bunch of moons trailing it go by there. So, and it didn't kick off an X flare or an M flare or anything. So, for right now, it's all really low percentages, but I'm telling you, watch out. There could be a possible huge M flare or an X flare catch us off guard right now because it looks all quiet. But we just saw that big object sneak in. There could be more. So I'm just saying. Okay. Bunch of quiet sunspots. The KP, we had a little spike here on the KP. Right here, nothing big up to KP2. That's still below like normal activity too. So you saw how quiet and suppressed it was, and then we had this little hiccup right there. So not much. Let's come over here to the auroras though. All right, that last little image showed some yellow in there, just a little faint stripe, but it seems to have dissipated already since I clicked on it. So that's good. Pretty faint on the southern hemisphere as well. That's good. We're not taking in too much energy. I would still watch out for the 30th because what came off the sun kind of looked like it was coming our direction, and the CME they reported on was the one heading away, and there was more than one CME that day. Anyways, let's keep going. Come on over here to the tracker. Still showing this one backward CME, so nothing really to look at there. We've already seen that. I think that was it for this. What did I have set up over here for us? A plasma twister in the sun's northern hemisphere broke apart on December 28th and hurled a spinning cloud of hot gas into space. NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory theorizes. All right, but here we go. Look at this. We know what causes that. And what a beautiful image we got of it. All right, at first glance, this tiny cloud may seem inconsequential. However, on its way out of the sun's atmosphere, it triggered a magnetic instabilities that turned into a surprisingly large CME. Here it is. Let's go take a peek, shall we? All right. That's the one we just looked at. All right, so let's continue on. This comet is about to blow. The ice volcanoes on Comet 12P have erupted half dozen times. Astronomers are startling the pattern. They say that this little these outbursts on this 15-day cadence is because it's rotating and it has a where does it say it? Why is this comet erupting every 15 days? Basically, it's because the comet spins with a 2-week period. Somewhere on the comet's surface, there is a cryovolcanic vent that gets hit with sunlight with the same cadence. Okay, well, that's what they think. That's understandable why they would think that, but they think it's because there's a little thing rotating on, or the one vent is rotating. It's like Old Faithful. Mm-hmm. All right, well, there's that. What else do I want to come over to? Oh, this. Yes, let's talk about this tonight, shall we? Because after my report last night on this, I noticed a few people pick up on it and do some reporting on this as well, which is awesome. It brings more attention to the situation at hand here, because sometimes I feel like I'm the only one who's trying to tell you this stuff. But here we go. Now, yesterday, if you guys were here, do you notice anything different here? This was a straight line right here yesterday. Now it's got a bump in it like this, and that bump, that hump, is over Canada and North America. All right. So it is purposely diverting and going way over Alaska, going way over Canada. Basically, it's bypassing this whole region. And note where our separation line is right here. The difference in flow, the direction and flow is way up here in America. That's usually way down here, you know. So our division line is been pulled north. Now, something else that's crazy. Are you guys noticing what the direction of the flow going from east to west? This is the subvortex, all right, that we were talking about that came off our main vortex. So the subvortex that's spinning backwards is pushing all the way backwards from Maine, all the way from the East Coast across the country, all the way across the Pacific. And then yesterday we were looking at the opposite side and this other subvortex, right? Look at this. Right now, this is happening. This vortex, this subvortex that is going from east to west across the Pacific, is now hooking up with this other subvortex. Do you see this little? There was division here. It was a flow that went this way. This loop has broken right here and now is starting to contribute to the inflow of this subvortex. It's almost like it's almost like one big conveyor belt that's one subvortex around the main one. Hard to describe, but you're looking at it. All right, now let me do just kind of a little reference. We'll pull back so you can kind of get a reference of what I'm talking about here. So we had this subvortex that was rotating back up into this. All of a sudden, this is broken down now, and it's starting to hook up, like I said, with this other subvortex on this side of the polar vortex. This one has gotten smashed down and flattened out. Remember, it was a little further down and more concentrated like this. Now it reaches way out here and way out there. It's been smashed down and flattened out like this. That vortex has, so much so that it reaches all the way over here, like I said, and now is hooking up with the other vortex. And if this continues, we might see a backward flow going all the way from, well, we basically are already seeing a backward flow starting from Maine out here, going all the way across the America, all the way across the Pacific. Now it's hooking up with the other vortex, which is picking it up, sending it all the way backward across China, across India, across Saudi Arabia. And then it finally goes up and hooks back up into our main vortex. All right, so now I'll pull back. We'll draw this down. Remember last night it kind of looked more flattened. Now I'm going to spin it around to America again. And you can see this hump right here in our flow has changed. Last night it was straight across like this. Now it's doing this boom, boom. And our separation area, you remember where it, whoopsie, remember where it was separating? The flow was separating and turning and going one way and going the other way. It used to be right over the middle of America, and then it was shifting this way and shifting more. Now look where it has shifted even more now to off the coast of Maine here. And it's basically bypassing the whole polar vortex is totally bypassing this whole half of the northern hemisphere, America, and the Pacific Ocean. All right. All because of the interference down below. What else was I going to show? Oh, now let's go to our upper jet stream. Okay, you see how gnarly it is? I haven't moved the sphere. Let me just kind of go back and forth. That's our division point right there where you see the separation over the Atlantic now. Now look what it does to the jet streams over the Atlantic. Move that. All right, pretty gnarly. These huge bows and dips and everything because that flow up above it is jamming things up. Everything down below is still trying to go west to east when stuff above is going east to west, and it makes it buckle and kind of, you understand, you know what I'm talking about. But now you can see these deep troughs. And here we have this split again at the west coast where stuff is going way up here into British Columbia and then diverting down to Southern California. Usually we have these comma-shaped storms that reach out of the Gulf and just come right across California and the country like that. Not anymore. They hit, they go up, down, and then they meet back up together over here where we have cold air coming down converging with, look, see this little conveyor belt coming down here and converging with this more moist air coming off the Gulf? At least it's not aiming up the East Coast anymore. It's more pointed out that way. We have this. Look how it comes up against that trough. Upper stuff is trying to go this way. It's going up against it, causing it to bow down and go up and do all kinds of crazy stuff. But now look where these things focus at. Up here at England and Britain, France, Germany, all of Northern Europe kind of area right in there, okay? They're going to start seeing some nasty weather in this area. Or they already have been. They're just going to continue to. Anywhere where you see these purple stripes is where you're going to have this convergence of cold and moist warm air colliding and creating severe weather. All right, so that we're going to have to keep a close eye on this this polar vortex now, because by now it should be, it has its main vortex. This is a nice, strong, healthy vortex, but it's bent out of shape, all right? And it's tweaked out of shapeness is causing weird sub-vortexes like this one and this one over here, okay? And now those two vortexes have reached all the way over and are connecting, and this whole new conveyor belt system is starting to form. All right, so it looks like America is dodging the bullet. It's called a hedge of protection. Okay. All right, so there's that. And meanwhile, down here, they have no polar vortex. It's just pretty much gone now. There we go. All right. While we're here real quick, let's even pop over to the sulfur dioxide. Take the wind out of there. All right. Pressure's looking a little lighter tonight. That's not the same color as it is on mine. All right, yeah, that's about right. Trying to get the actual shading right so it doesn't look like I'm cheating or anything. Trying to make it darker when it's not. So, all right, over here you can see what's going on over here. This is a good indicator of the pressure that's down here. When this gets really dark in this area here, you got a lot of pressure down underneath there. It's weird how it's kind of shifting around now. It used to be dark, when the pressure came up, it would darken all the different areas, and only certain areas are getting dark and others are getting lighter. So magma is on the move down below, distributing this gas in different places now, even though there's pressure still coming up from below. It's being very selective as to where it's coming out at. Let's move on over here now to our earthquake report. If we can get the USGS. All right, start over here. And we have a little bit different start here than we usually do. Get this just a tad bit better. Oh, yeah. I'm liking this new camera for our reports. I hope it's making it a little bit better for you guys, because I showed you the camera that you guys were watching this show through. What an atrocious. All right, let's just get on with it. Here we go. And I also want all that in the screen too. Oh, beautiful. All right, our deep quake right here, 553. So it's a 4.5 down at 553. There's our deep quake right there. But now watch this. These aren't on the plate boundary. These are just inside of it. A 4.5 down at 385. This isn't a surface quake. This is down at 385. It's not at maximum depth or super deep, but at mid-range. So 4.5, 4.5, and then come over to this one. This is a 4.7, still down at 153. So deep, medium, sub-medium. We still haven't had a surface quake. Okay, so this is combined energy, 4.5, 4.5, 4.7. We're looking at like 5 to 5.2 energy going into the system. All right, so we come up here. Let's hit up this one. This is a 4.4, but it's still down at 112. So this isn't a surface quake yet, but it's that 4 mid-range 4 energy rumbling around down a little deeper. Let's check out this one. Here's a 4.9 down at 206. Still not another surface quake. It's that 4.5 to 5 energy still rumbling around down here lower at the surface, or lower, below the surface. We still haven't had a surface quake yet, all right? Then we come up to here. Bang, there it is. 5.2 down at 10. Ba-bum. There's your first surface quake with 5.2 energy. There it is. Coming here, 4.8 down at 73.4. So that's your 5 energy kind of at the surface there. Now, where to go? There was a deep quake here. There's a 4.3 down at 54 here. And I saw a deep quake here. Oh, wait, no. Maybe it's up further. Let's go up to our new weak spot here. With the 5.0 right there, down at 54. So that mid-range, or that mid-range 4 to 5.2 energy just going up on through the system. It kind of skipped over Taiwan here and continues right here with a 4.5 down at 55. So still not a surface quake. It's almost there, but 4.5 there. Then we have this one. There's your 5.1 at the surface. Okay, that's what I was talking about. That surface energy. Let's come on up to this one right here. Here's your 4.8 down at 46. All right. And now to our big quake and the event of the day here in this region. Now, we've been watching this area and noting that there has been very minimal quake activity. We went a long time without any quake activity along this plate boundary. We saw a lot of volcano activity up here at the peninsula. Okay, just to give you reference where we're at. Japan here, Russian peninsula. This was that quiet zone, all right? And we'd seen a couple little things here and there, but not much, all right? Now we have our event going off here finally. Let's check this one. We did that one, 4.8. Yeah, we got that one out the way. All right, now let's get in here because there's more than one quake. We got an ancient runway back here in the ground. Don't worry about that. Let's just get into the quake here. All right, 6.5 down at 23. All right. Now, this is the USGS. So let's be a little more realistic as to what it could be or what it probably was. All right. I'm not going to talk a certain number, but they're sticking with 6.5, huh? Okay, so 6.5 caused this flurry of quakes, huh? Of aftershocks. Starting off with a 5.0 down at 40, a 4.8 down at 41, a 4.6 down at 55, 4.5 down at 44, and a 4.7 down at 47. None of these is a surface quake. None of these is really an aftershock. This is going to be a new little quake swarm area, it looks like. Because I believe this is stronger than a 6.5 probably, and has now created a new weak area, a new possible weak spot here on our plate boundary area. All right, so we're going to have to put like a little thumbtack, like Dutch would, put a little thumbtack in this little part of the map now as one of our new weak spots. So we had this new area, we had this new area down here. Remember, we had our bigger quake and a bunch of swarm there. So we're having new little weak spots pop up, and not necessarily at fulcrum points, okay? These weak spots are kind of in between fulcrum points. See, this one's, it's not here. This one, it's not up here. It's kind of in between there, all right? Now, something I want to talk about here, you see how quiet the garden hose kink? Nothing. All right. This is a little scary. I kind of want to remind you guys about Dutch's map and his arrows that he has down here, where we see pressure come straight across. Deep quake happens here. Instead of going up through the system, it transfers straight across. Well, there's arrows also straight across here. It can bypass all this part of the system and push energy straight across. And what happened right after that? We had this. Boom, right here. 3.5 down at 10. And then just a little while ago, we had a 3.5 here. This was a 4.0 earlier. They downgraded this. When I first checked on this, this was a 4.0. And I'm going to stick with that because that's what I saw first. So we had 3.5 energy come on in and 4. All right. This looks more like it's from the fracture zone, or from the Juan de Fuca, energy coming down right here. But if you see, not much of this energy has made it over this hump and through the system. Okay, so it looks like maybe the energy that I would expect to go boom and come back down through here has already fired off directly across with a couple of mid-range 3 to 4. Okay, so dodged another bullet, I think. I hope. Let's pray that that's the case, because that could trigger off another larger quake. All right, we have motion on the plate at a level of 6.5 to whatever 6.7 or so. because I believe it was a little stronger, which can make any of these little weak spots move at the same same magnitude. But for right now, it seems to have delivered pressure straight across over here. We might see another, mid-range 3 or 4 pop off over here, a little bit more release from all this energy. But it looks like that may have been the case. It dodged the rest of the system and kind of transferred straight across. We also got, same energy here in Hawaii, 4.4 down at 12, and I just saw a new quake here. All right, over here we're having energy releases along this plate boundary right here, and this is one I want to kind of talk about a little bit before we had the red quake, because we had a 5.2 at the surface, or a depth of 10. That's what I call the surface. Another 5 there, and a 5.7. Okay, another stronger quake. I question the 5.7, especially when we've had another one right here at 5.1. So another possible weak spot right here. It's okay. It's a spot that releases energy. We have to have some of this pressure down below released, or else it'll release in one big explosive pop. All right. And we don't want that. Here we go. Just a little south of it is your 4.8 right there. Still that almost 5 energy right there. Also, 4.5 in Turkey. It's creeping through the system, pushing along. Kind of skipped this fulcrum point in this one, and this one. But bam, hooks up over here. And also, we got a 4.3 down to 69.4. Probably need to see a lot more energy being released in this area. We need more quakes, or watch out, you're going to see these volcanoes around Italy starting to go off. Also down here, I want to talk about these two. Quietly kind of hidden off the map is a 5.8 down at 10. All right. And then this one over here, a 5.1. So we've had some 5s out there, a 6.5. So some higher range 5s and a mid-range 6 today. All right. So your energy is, that pressure still down below, starting to move around a little bit now. And we're seeing a small uptick in earthquake activity and magnitude a little bit. Let's come on over to the volcano report now. As we wait for the ads. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. Appreciate y'all. I see we've chased off half of my audience. That's good. We only want the hardcore. Speaking of which, you guys are pretty hardcore. We've been through a lot spiritually a lot on this channel. And if you're still around here, if you've been here for a while and you're still around at this channel, that shows you've got a lot of fortitude, a lot of spiritual intestinal fortitude. And I am not getting a reaction from this site now. Oh dear. Come on. Lord, please, can we have our volcano page? Please. Oh, well, we'll stick with forecast. I'll take that instead of a white screen. All right, there's your loop already in motion there. I'll let that kind of go for a second. Dude, you see that big old thing? Yeah, we've been through a lot at this channel, and if you're still here, it shows that you've got some fortitude, because this is not an easy channel to be at. All right, keep a lot of people awake at night and soothe others that need the rest. Okay, here we go. Current conditions, the nighttime of the 28th. Boom. There we go into the morning of the 29th. This storm pushing on shore here, Northern California and stuff, as this little storm is starting to finally move out of there with this cold air remnant back behind here with pop-up snowstorms and a little bit of rain there. But mainly this event coming in through the noontime of the 29th into the convection there, the 29th. Severe weather chances on the coast of California. Now we go into the nighttime of the 29th. It goes more into the Central Valley, hitting the Sierras by the morning of the 30th. All this snow going up through Maine and everything. Continuing into the noontime. Then the end of convection, the 30th, most of the country cleared out, nice and clear. Just the Washington, California area right here with this little storm moving in. It dissipates by the night of the 30th. There's the morning of the 31st. Noon, convection, a little sneaky coming in over here, Southern California a little bit. That's nighttime of the 31st, going into the morning of the 1st. So Happy New Year, Southern California. You're going to have a little bit of rain. Well, maybe not. It's kind of skirting underneath it now. That's the end of convection there, January 4th, with the moisture starting to creep up into here. But by the nighttime of the 1st, it's out of there. There's the morning of the 2nd, noon. By convection, we have another round of moisture coming onto the west coast here, and moisture coming up from the into Texas here as well. Then, as we go into the nighttime of the 2nd, into the morning of the 3rd, you see this still starting to blossom with severe weather down here in Louisiana. By the noontime, it gets severe even more into Mississippi and Alabama, January 3rd, the noontime. Let me just try to do this a tad bit more. Oops, I'm trying to get as much map and enough button to go. All right, there you go. So this is the noontime, January 3rd, and we go into the end of convection right there. So we'll have to watch this. Whatever comes off the sun, December 31st might contribute. We'll see what happens. But as we get into the nighttime of the 3rd, you see it go up the coast here a little bit into the morning of the 4th. The noontime, it starts to get severe just offshore. So it looks like we dodged a bullet there too, or at least they did out there. Much like the planet doesn't need another round of energy hitting us, this part of the country doesn't need more moisture hitting them. So, dodge a bullet right there. There's your end of convection happening out over the water instead of on the East Coast now. There's your nighttime, the morning of the 5th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 6th, noon. Okay, so watch out down here. This is roiling and boiling down here in the Gulf. Little patch kind of coming up into Texas, but as it starts to approach Florida by convection there, then it hits the coast at nighttime of the 6th right there. Tampa Bay, the west coast of Florida right there, with more snow hitting the Sierras, Northern California, way up here in Canada too. You Canadians watch that part up there as well. The morning of the 7th. Noontime. Now you see how this is kind of branched off. We got two little segments of energy. Severe weather here on the coast of Florida, severe weather going up into Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Georgia by the convection right there. So as this moves offshore, we don't have to worry about that, but this little impulse right here, as it starts to kind of creep up the coast here, by the end of convection right there, we have the chance of severe weather January 7th in this south here. That's the nighttime. And lots of snow. This big storm brewing down here. Southern California getting hit again. There's the morning time of the 8th. So this severe weather doesn't dissipate at night. It goes blossoms into the night or into the morning of the next day. Then we go into the noontime. It's still there. The end of convection still on the very tip right here, chances. Look how low this is diving down And I don't cuss much, but I shit you not, there's severe snow in Mexico. Look at this. Alrighty. Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. This is Mexico with severe snow. Not just regular snow, severe snow. So, odd weather events? Yeah, I'd say so. 10 feet of snow in Mexico City. Wouldn't that be weird? Anyway, we'll pray for them. I shouldn't laugh. It's just so odd. Now, yeah, while everybody's watching this thing going, it's snowing in Mexico here. Still by the. How did I get down there? All right. So, right here, starting at this point, we got snow, southern Nevada, Arizona, Utah. And then the morning of the 8th, it starts to really drive down in across the Mexican border by the noontime of the 8th here. By noontime, in the middle of the day, not at night when it's cold, but at high noon in Mexico, it's going to be snowing. And by the end of convection that day, they're going to have severe snowstorms, thunder snow possibly down here in Mexico. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's the Lord just going, yeah, check it out. Then we go to the nighttime of the 8th, still snow down in here, okay? Then look at how this low wraps up, takes all that energy, and just starts to drive it north. This is going to be the morning of the 9th. Back up. There's your snowstorm at night in Mexico, turning into this by the morning of the 9th. Severe weather in the morning through Fort Worth, Dallas, Texas, other thing. This thing came down and it's now making a U-turn and going up. You see this little icing in here too, snow on the backside. Now, as this thing really wraps up and gets organized, look how it changes and gathers strength and just turns into this big, powerful field of severe weather right here. This is the noontime. This isn't even when the sun's at the highest yet. Okay. Then, by the end of convection right here, it seems to dissipate. But we'll have to watch this closely. This is a little further out there, okay, so not as reliable, but definitely something to start to consider and look at and prepare, maybe plan for in case it does come to fruition. So that's all the state of Arkansas, basically the entire state of Arkansas right there, except for like the little tiny corner and the little tiny corner. That's the whole state of Arkansas under severe weather right there, all the way down most of Louisiana as well, because this little stripe right here and all that, there's only one little green stripe of Louisiana. So all of Arkansas and most of Louisiana with wraparound going up into Kansas there. Look at this. You're going to have snow, rain, and severe weather all here in the state of Kansas all at once right there. When that freight train starts barreling through there, there's the end of convection. I have a feeling if it was that concentrated at noon, it would be even more so at the end of convection. But pray it dissipates like this is showing. Little spots here, break off stuff down there in the tail. As we get into the nighttime of the 9th, look how this thing has already made a full circle and starting to wrap back around. You see the snow finally completing the loop. See how it's open from here to here. Now watch this. Boom. And whip right around, almost like a hurricane, like a land hurricane right there. These tight isobars, we're talking heavy winds, deep snow, massive blizzard. You're talking power outages, zero visibility, severe weather still impacting up in here too. This is a monster. So we'll just track it carefully. all this stuff icing up in here in Canada, that could do a lot of damage to those folks up there. So then it continues on here. Let's call off a few more times. That's the end of convection right there, January 9th, going into the nighttime of the 9th, the morning of the 10th, noon the 10th. Then by the end of convection, January 10th, most of the storm is up and out of there, but a lot of snow on the backside here, still reaching down into Minnesota, all the way down into here still too. Then the nighttime of the 10th, morning of the 11th, and that was it. Whoops. Noon the 11th right there with severe weather coming up through here. Convection the 11th. Nighttime the 11th. Morning of the 12th. Noon the 12th. Convection the 12th. So a couple of rounds going through here, 11th and the 12th, into the night of the 12th, even into the morning of the 13th still. And look at this cold air on the backside bringing snow again here. Look at these storms, how they just kind of, this thing hooks up again, they kiss, they meet up, mwah! And here we go with severe weather down there. All right, so that's the morning of the 13th now through the noontime, convection, snow all the way up through there. Tonight, and that was the end of the loop. So let's go ahead and let that loop play one more time while I can set up for the spiritual report. So I hope you enjoyed that, the solar report. Hopefully this stuff is making more sense to you guys now as to how this is all connected and how it works. All right. Cause and effect. We got the sun does weird things. It sends stuff our way that has effects. It has effects on the weather, the volcanoes, and the earthquakes. And the people as well. In fact, the Schumann is the one instrument we didn't get to look at tonight because it wasn't pulling up. Let's just try it one more time real quick before we finish off the... Oh, we also have a volcano report to look at too. Yeah, this is a Russian site and it's not coming up right now. I think maybe you guys could understand why. Yeah, it's not going to come up. Let's go over this volcano report. Yeah, there it goes. All right, so already for today, the 29th, we have Fuego, Kluchevskoy, Popo, Ibu, Dakono, Sakurajima, Luato B, and Nevada del Ruiz already going off so far today, the 29th, and we are, a few hours into it. Kluchevskoy, this is all from, here we go. Sakurajima, 7,000 feet. Ibu. Luatobi to 9,000 feet. Dukono, 13,000 feet. All right, I'm done. Look at this dude's abs. All right. So, Dukono, 13,000. Popo, 20,000. Fuego, 15,000. All right, and that was already so far the 29th. Now let's go look at what happened to earlier today, the 28th. Oh no, I didn't do it again, did I? Yeah, I did. I want this one. Click the same thing twice. Oh, there we go. Get all these ads out of here. Okay, Reykjanes still going off in Iceland. Okay, big article on this. More tremors and stuff happening. Lots of magma still moving around there. Okay, so that's, even though it's gone kind of quiet, it's not done there. There'll be more. Suwanosejima still erupted again to where did it say? It used to say 8,000 feet or something. I saw. Ibu, still volcanic ash advisory. Luatobi had a blast today, 9,000 feet. Semeru and East Java still going. Volcanic ash advisory. Dacono had a blast of 10,000 today. Popo 20,000. Santa Guido. Fuego, Nevada del Ruiz to 24,000. Okay, we're starting to see some higher blasts up to the 20,000, 24,000 foot level. That's that pressure. That's an indicator that the pressure's building down there. It's shooting higher blasts. Here's 1 to 20,000 feet, Sangay to 20,000. Reventador, Sabancaya. All right, so I think that was it. Yeah. So just a quick little overview. Some are still going off, but we are having 20,000 foot plus eruptions. So 20,000, a couple of them at 20,000 and one at 24. Okay, so there was that. Now let's come on over to the spiritual report now. We can have pretty cool picture there. All right. Come on over to my channel. And let's see. With the new camera now, we can see stuff a lot better. So maybe we'll pick out another image here. Which is one that was hard to see? This one was hard to see, but that's all demonic stuff. We don't need to be looking at that too much. Mm-hmm. Oh, I can't choose. Lord help me, what are we gonna watch on this thing tonight? Ooh, that one? No. Alright, we're just gonna go up to this for now. Actually, let's do this one. Oh. Radiating out this image in the sky. Let me get this set up a little bit better. Full screen, please. There we go. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. So, snapping some pictures of the clouds yesterday, and I noticed something forming in the clouds. What looked like a face over here. And I'm going to start zooming in on this face because it's a real face. And if you look back behind it here, let's zoom in just a little bit. You'll notice that back behind here, this face is being projected by Jesus's heart right here. You can see it radiating out. Here's Jesus's face. He's pulling open his shirt, exposing his heart. His heart's radiating out this image in the sky. See his face here? And there's a crown right here. Also in the etherical, in black, there's another crown right here. Anyways, I just wanted to show you this picture. Isn't this amazing? And this face, I recognize this face. I know who this is. I know who this face is. I see him every morning in the mirror. That's not all. I got another one. And a few moments later, in this image, I took a picture of the same cloud, but this is at a different angle. I rotated it 90 degrees. And I want you to look right up in here. You can see that there's a face, 2 eyes, smile. Here's the head. And the arms are outstretched, and he's holding a cell phone taking pictures of the sky. This is an image of me taking the pictures of the clouds. So the clouds are now mimicking me taking pictures of them. Trippy stuff, huh? How would you feel if you saw the clouds mimicking you taking pictures of them? I mean, what would you think is going on? It's like, wait a second, the clouds are making pictures, my face in the clouds now? What the heck does that mean? Well, all because of who I am. All right, so there was that wonderful gem. And what I'm trying to do here is crazy. Tilt your head for an angle. I rotated all this other stuff that came up here. I don't want this. Pull that off of my computer, please. I want to come back to right about there. What is this? I don't want this on here. There we go. You know what we need to do is it's kind of too big right there. It's got to be a little more compressed like that. That way you can see it a little bit better. Here, you can see it radiating out. Here's Jesus' face. He's pulling open his shirt, exposing his heart. All right, there we go. That's a little bit better right there. Cool. Yeah, now you guys can see these images a lot clearer. It was so frustrating trying to show you such important information with a broken camera. Mind-numbingly frustrating. But now there's a little bit of relief, for me at least, that you guys can see this hopefully a little bit better. Okay. Hopefully this brings you hope and courage and strength. Okay, all right, now I'll pull out the light here and start reading. Okay. Seek my face more and more. You are really just beginning your journey of intimacy with me. It is not easy, or it is not an easy road, but it is a delightful and privileged way, a treasure hunt. I am the treasure, and the glory of my presence glistens and shimmers along the way. Hardships are part of the journey too. I bring them ever so carefully in just the right dosage, with tenderness that you can hardly imagine. So do not recoil from afflictions, since they are among my most favored gifts. So trust me and don't be afraid, for I am your strength and your song. Okay, so trust me enough to spend ample time with me, pushing back the demands of your day. Refuse to feel guilty about something that is so pleasing to me, the King of the universe, because I am omnipotent. I am able to bend time and events in your favor. You will find that you can accomplish more in less time after you have given yourself to me in rich communication. Also, as you align yourself with my perspective, You can sort out what is important and what is not. Get in the door, Cookie. Don't fall into the trap of being constantly on the go. Many, many things people do in my name have no value in my kingdom. To avoid doing meaningless works, stay in continual communication with me. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go, and I will counsel you with my eyes upon you. And what's this one? I need another sip. Sorry, we got the cat here too. All right. I live in you. I am everything you could possibly need in a Savior God, and I am alive within you. I fill you with radiant light and love. I want my life in you to overflow and impact other people. As you interact with them, ask me to live through you and love through you. When you collaborate with me in this way, my light will reflect from your face, and my love will grace your words. You are complete in me. All that you need for your salvation and your spiritual growth is found in me. Through my divine power, you have everything necessary to persevere in the eternal life I have given you. I also give you intimate knowledge of me. I invite you to open up and share with me at the deepest levels, both your struggles and your delights. Find rest in my finished work on the cross and rejoice that you are eternally secure in me. Enjoy rich soul satisfaction through knowing me, your loving Savior and forever friend. Yeah, kitty, you want to go back out now? All right, go ahead. Oh, says amen. No good kitty. Okay, so whenever you're feeling sad, I want you to anticipate feeling joyful again. This takes the sting out of your sorrow because you know it's only temporary. Sadness tends to duplicate itself along the timeline, convincing you that you'll always be unhappy. But this is a lie. The truth is, all my followers have infinite joy ahead of them, guaranteed throughout eternity. So no one can take this away from you. Your path through this world has many ups and downs. Your downtimes are difficult, but they can serve as an important purpose. Pain and struggle help you change and grow stronger when you trust me in the midst of your adversity. Your troubles are comparable to a woman enduring labor pains. Her suffering is very real, and she may wonder how much longer she can bear the pain. However, this arduous struggle produces a wonderful result, a newborn baby. While you labor through your earthly struggles, keep your eyes on the promised reward, boundless joy in heaven. Even now, you can grow in my awareness of my presence where there is fullness of joy. Right. Fullness of joy. There's a lot of stressful stuff going on, a lot of crazy things in the world, a lot of scary stuff. Fullness of joy. All right. Don't let it scare you. Make sure you hold on to this foundation. Okay, that's so important. That's why I keep showing you guys this stuff. So you know you have a savior, you have a rock on which to hold on to, an anchor, all right, in the middle of this storm. Okay. Stay focused. Don't let the deception and lies of the world and the media suck you in and make you freak out. All right. This is your sound mind. You got to keep a sound mind. A lot of these people over in Israel, that are fighting, they want my advice. Cooler heads need to prevail. Once your freedom is stripped away and there's no comforts of life anymore, is when you'll look back and say, why didn't we do something when we had the chance? Okay. So, in the meantime, spiritual warfare going on. You guys are a reflection. So keep fighting and keep reflecting. Okay. I love you all. God bless you all. I miss you all. And until my next show, I'll be back. I'm already back, can't you tell?